morning and welcome to the Carla Marie and Anthony Show. My name is Anthony.
I'm Carla Marie.
What's wrong? You got to move over this way a little bit.
Oh.
What's wrong with the top of your head?
I don't know. There's something going on there.
I don't think anyone notices it. Anyway, good morning. Welcome to the show. We've got a couple things we got to get into real quick. First, the Costa Rica trip is still available.
I'm just going to let you take it away so I can sip my drink.
Oh, go for it. If you want to join us in Costa Rica at the end of March, so March 2025, and the beginning of April, we are going to keep this thing open until, I believe, Labor Day weekend. If it is not sold, if we don't have the minimum 10 trips there, then we will just cancel it so that we can start the school year fresh and not worry about it.
Yep.
And I get it. A lot of people, it doesn't work timing-wise. Maybe you've got weddings. Maybe your kids are in school, whatever. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's not a big deal. Now, moving on to something a little more, a little sooner on the calendar, on Monday,
August 5th, I am hosting a free screening of It Ends With Us. The movie doesn't come out until August 9th, so you'll get to see it in advance, brag to all your friends that didn't get to come. It is just a sign-up link. Claire will drop it in here because she's amazing. And it is also still first come, first serve. So you have to be on this list and in line at the movie theater downtown Seattle Monday night. All of the information is at this link.
All right. What should we get into first? Do you want to do School Bus with Wings?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Girl Power, or Rippin' Packs?
We could also play Shock Potato.
Good.
Start the
You
day.
still have it?
Yeah.
Would you just carry that potato around with you all the time?
Well, I might actually be filming it with players today. It may have been approved.
Oh, because you have training camp today.
Yes.
So you gotta go. You have to tell people like what your schedule is with training camp. Like, what does a day look like for Carla Marie, the NFL expert?
Well, I'm very much living a Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus life when I get there this year. So I get there. Sometimes I have time to grab a quick lunch. Mm-hmm. Then at 11:30, I get on the mic and welcome people. So I'm like over the speakers. People are walking into training camp. I am welcoming them. By 11:50, I have to be inside where players are wrapping up practice to get my first interaction with them. I have like 2 to 4 players I specifically can talk to at that moment, get content with, run back outside, because then we kick off our pre-practice show, which is I'm talking to the 12s out there. I get the dancers out there to perform, Blue Thunder, if we have anything else special. Today's Kids Day, so we have a magician, so I'll be introducing a magician. We play like 1 or 2 games. Then I finish up that. Then I go with our social team and film a bunch of stuff with the 12s. I walk around. I show all the things you can do at training camp. Then I close out practice on the microphone. Again, I'm like, thank you so much for being here. Here's the Bratzuka. Here's Tyler Lockett. He's going to
they bring the Bratzuka to training camp?
It's been cool.
Wow.
Blah, blah, blah,
For people
whatever.
who don't know what the Bratzuka is, it's a cannon that has hot dogs, basically.
Yeah, it's nuts. And then I'm like, okay, cool, great seeing you. I sprint over because practice ends and the players start walking in the locker room. Then I get content with the players again.
You know what I would love to see with the Bratzuka?
That's my whole day.
I want to see a competition where they fire one brat from like the 50-yard line and see if anyone can catch it with their mouth.
But they're not naked brats.
No, but they should. They should do a naked brat one.
They're in, not styrofoam, but.
They're in a box. They're in like whatever box you would put a hot dog in.
No,
and then they wrap them up with plastic.
No.
I'm pretty sure they do.
It's kind of like styrofoam, actually, maybe. It's very
but
much
they're sealed.
It reminds me of the containers at the bank, the ATM.
Yeah.
But they're not hard.
Why do I keep thinking Tones is saying Brazooka or Bratzuka? Brat, like a bratwurst? Zuka.
That's hilarious.
All right, are you going to whip this thing out, this potato?
We can do this conversation on Thursday if we wanted, but I wanted to have our Olympic conversation.
Oh, we can do that.
We'll see how timing goes today, because we got stuff. What if Thursday we don't have anything to talk about?
Yeah, we will. So for people who don't know, this is basically just hot potato, but it allegedly will electric shock you.
Do we want to put it on extreme, no music, or a normal with music?
Normal with music.
Fuck. There's this one way to wake up.
All
Well,
right,
my hand's wet now. I'm going to die.
Yeah.
No, you're not playing right. You have to throw it.
I will.
You're getting shocked now. Because you're not playing right.
Yes, I am.
The rules say you have to toss potato when get to potato.
Ow! All right, it got me.
You almost dropped it on your weed.
It got me. All right. Let's get into the school bus with wings for a moment.
Is this Miss Frazzle?
No, I wish.
Frizzle?
Frizzle.
Miss Frizzle. Miss Frazzle is the woman I follow on Instagram who's amazing.
So we talked about how I went to my brother's bachelor party this past weekend.
Yes.
And to get down there, I waited a little too long for my flights because I was kind of monitoring the wrong price. And it got to a point where Alaska was trying to charge me I think it was $780. So almost $800 for a 2.5-hour flight.
So insane.
From Seattle to San Diego and back. So I said, you know what? Let me see if I could piece this together. Maybe some layovers. We'll figure it out and see what I can do. So what I did was I found a Spirit Airlines flight on the way down that got me to LA for I think it was $109.
Crazy.
And then a $33 train ticket from LA to San Diego, which was great. On the way back, I did San Diego to Portland and then a $60 train ride from Portland to Seattle. And that flight was, I want to say, $120. So I saved a decent amount of money. I did have to pay $50 for an Uber from my cousin's house in LA to the train station. But other than that, it was essentially the same price. Like Carla Marie was going to pick me up from the airport or drop me off and pick me up from the airport in Seattle anyway. So instead, it actually saved you time because you had to pick me up from the airport or the train station in Seattle, which is much closer. Other than that, there were no extra fees or anything like that. But the problem was each flight was a Spirit Airlines flight. And I swear to you, the flight on the way down from Seattle to Los Angeles, I don't think anyone on that plane had ever flown before.
That's what I hear. Same with Frontier.
And listen, I get it. Maybe, like, flying's expensive. Not everyone has a reason to fly all the time. Some people never leave their hometowns. But I think at some point, we're going to have to start teaching airplane etiquette in schools.
I think that would be amazing.
Because I have never seen a flight with so many people who just didn't understand and or listen to any rules on the plane. It was wild.
If they don't teach it in school, which we know that they won't. So other idea is you get to the gate, they say, hey, who has flown before? Me. Who hasn't? Me. Now you have a buddy.
Like an Orange Theory fitness class.
You're going to board with them. And there you go.
I got on, and just people getting to their seats was insane. People were just taking seats that they wanted to.
Nope, this is not Southwest.
And then the amount of times that the flight attendants would have to come up and say, sir, ma'am, where is your seat? And then they'd look at it and go, well, you're 14 rows back.
So let me
go to your seat. That happened multiple times.
But let me be very clear about something. Airports and airlines very much assume, it is very like this ignorant thing that they assume that everyone has done this already several times. So when you get to the airport, if you've never flown before and you're an adult, which is very possible because it's expensive and you have whatever. I remember the first time I flew after being a kid, I was like, do I need my ID again after? Yeah. Like, do I need my ID to get on the plane? What do I do? Like, there are things that you don't know that no one tells you. There are no steps until you're getting screamed at TSA. Love them, but you don't know. They're like, oh, what? You have no idea.
So
no one tells you this stuff.
To start, people are taking their wrong seats. People are trying to put roller bags under their seats. Like everything was a mess. Then everyone's finally seated. It's a full plane. I think there may have been one seat empty. The plane starts moving. Okay? Everyone's seated. Everyone's got their seat. Oh, actually, I got to go one step back. The one flight attendant is going through the seats, making sure everyone is buckled, making sure no one has their bags out. And I don't understand this rule, but you're not supposed to have like a chest bag
I think it's
on.
I think it's because takeoff and landings are when things go wrong.
But if I have a crossbody bag on,
But
like
then
what's going to happen?
you're not putting on your floaty.
Oh,
You're getting
okay.
stuck trying to squeeze out of a window.
So she's going through telling everyone, okay, you can't have your purse or your crossbody or whatever on. And she's telling people with a hand signal too, because obviously a lot of people have earbuds in. She gets to one guy who's maybe 4 rows ahead of me on the other side. And she says, sir, you have to take your bag off. And he just goes, no. She goes, excuse me? And he says, no. She goes, well, you have to take it off just during takeoff and landing. Otherwise, you can have it on the whole time. And he says, no again.
I would have fucking stopped that.
Well,
I would have stopped that plane and kicked that man right off.
Well, she said, okay, you can come with me. And she walks him to the front. And I don't know whether she talked to another flight attendant or the captain or whatever, or told him, like, listen, man, we're giving you one more shot, or we're just kicking you off this plane. But she was so calm about it, like
yeah, they don't care.
You're not going to ruin my day. I'm just going to kick you off this plane. And he went back to his seat, took his bag off, and that was it. It was just a wild thing to see.
It's a wild hill to die on.
Part of me feels like maybe he didn't speak English, but I couldn't hear him. It was real random.
I don't know. I think people are just asshats.
So that happens, right?
Sorry.
We start the plane finally after all of that, because it took 40 extra minutes to load this plane.
It took off late?
Oh, yeah. It took off late, but the plane was there on time. Everything started on time. Just everyone was dumb. So the plane finally pulls out. And all of a sudden, people start getting up out of their seats to, like, check their bags, to go to the bathroom. And
but maybe they just don't know.
they had to make 4 announcements, 4 separate announcements to tell people to sit back down.
I'm telling you right now, I would have gotten up out of my seat, yelled at everyone,
That was the problem, though.
and been on the no-fly list for the rest of my life.
So they're getting up, and now they're yelling, hey, we're on an active runway. You have to be in your seat with your seatbelt on. And slowly, everyone starts sitting back down. Then we take off. And within the first 30 seconds of takeoff, people are getting up out of their seats again, going to the bathroom, checking their bags, and they get on the PA again.
I'm understanding the school bus thing here.
Oh, my Lord. It was honestly like just a bunch of tall children. That's who was flying on this plane down from Seattle to Los Angeles. And on top of that, the school bus thing, I've never been on a louder plane.
Because people?
Just loud talkers. Honestly, it sounded like a school bus in the morning on the way to school.
Because, like, I often think I'll fly Spirit. I don't mind. Like, I don't need to recline. I don't need Wi-Fi, whatever. This, nope, I can't do it. I'll lose my mind. Do you get on the no-fly list for a specific airline or for all of them?
All of them. I was on that flight, and thankfully I got to fall asleep for like an hour, but I was on that flight just trying to figure out if I was on punked. Or if I was on crazy pills
How were
or
the
something.
people in your row?
People in my row were fine. They talked to each other a lot. It was I think a married couple or something. They were fine. They just talked a lot.
They weren't up and down?
No, they weren't. They weren't going up and down like everyone else was. And then we finally, we're descending. Again, right? Everyone's got to be in their seats with their seatbelt on. We start descending. People are getting up out of their seats again. We land.
If I was the pilot, I would slam on the brakes.
People are getting out of their seats again while we're on the runway.
Slam on them. Face in the back of the seat. I'd love to see it.
When we finally got to the gate and the seatbelt light went off, I swear to you, there was like a mad dash to the front of the plane. Before the door was even open, people just would grab their bags from the top, boom, straight out.
That's any airline.
No, I feel like when I'm on Alaska, people they wait their turn normally.
I have this new idea that I think I want flight attendants to stand at the row that is allowed to go. Then she moves or he moves to the next row.
The problem is everyone behind them is still going to get up. Right? You need all the flight attendants to be like monitoring.
Put the damn cart in that row and you're not moving.
But man, it was insane. It was without a doubt the most unruly flight I've ever been on in my life.
Even when you went to Vegas on Spirit or Frontier? Yeah. What about on the way back?
That was the crazy thing. On the way back, and granted, I was the last person on the plane on the way back, and I was more or less sleeping. most of the way.
That was an early morning flight too, so
But it was totally calm.
people were sleeping.
Everyone got up like a normal human. It was just that one
Maybe they need to start
flight.
drugging people in the morning.
It was wild.
Lenny said they should have a spray bottle to spray people when
They should have every sort of non-lethal weapon available. Everything. A little poker.
give them the shock potato.
One of the little grabby hands, and you just put see
shock
people
potato. So it's like a little less than a taser.
Man, and I know that flying brings out the worst in people, right? A lot of people are very anxious, and the whole system is kind of built to make you feel shitty.
Like cattle.
Right? No, the whole system with that airlines are doing now, it's made to make you feel poor and feel terrible about yourself. Oh, did you pay for this? No, well, go in that line and wait even longer. Did you pay for this? No, go wait in that line. Did you pay for this? No, well, you board last. Did you pay for this? No, well, you have to smuggle your bag in your butthole because you can't put it above the seat.
They're not checking that though. As long as
Sometimes they do.
If you're boarding with 2 bags and you didn't pay for a bag, they know. But if you paid for no overhead space and you only board with 1 bag, like a backpack, and then you put it overhead, no one knows that.
Depends on how full the flight is, generally.
They're not checking that though.
Sometimes they do.
They'll move your backpack because it's a backpack.
But man, it is crazy. It is absolutely crazy.
They should have a spirit marshal who whips people into shape.
I think for Spirit,
hire me, Spirit Airlines.
And listen, I've flown a lot of the basically the cheaper airlines, right? The more cost-effective airlines. I've flown Frontier, I've flown Southwest, I've flown Spirit. I'm trying to save money just like everybody else. But maybe if you're flying those airlines, I don't know if Allegiant falls into that bucket, whatever. You have to take like an online class. Right? Like as you're clicking through to buy your ticket.
Before I went to college to make sure I wasn't going to binge drink.
Yeah, it should say something like give you multiple choice. Like, hey, when the plane lands, it is customary to push everyone out of your way, A. B, wait your turn.
Oh, I was like.
C, never leave the plane. Which one of these is correct? And if you pick B, wait your turn, then you get to fly. Kind of like those those sexual harassment tests you have to take at work.
That's what I had to do for college too.
But man, that was something. New to the game, Breeze and Allegiant. What is Breeze? That's an airline? I'm going to look this up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Breeze Airline?
So I was talking to Baby Jake.
What is this?
I was going to get him on the horn, but he's
Seriously Nice. Where do these people fly from?
How do they trademark Seriously Nice, but we can't trademark You Look Great?
I don't know. Let's
Get
see.
the hell out of here.
Let's see. It doesn't look like they fly out of San Diego. Or
Where do we live?
Seattle. They do fly out of San Diego, actually. So let's say get out of here. San Diego to Jacksonville, Florida.
That's leaving.
That's fine. Let's see.
Week.
What's it looking like here?
Oh. $100.
That's cool.
One way. Non-stop. That's great.
I've literally never heard of this airline, but obviously they don't fly from here, so why would I?
Baby Jake.
Yes.
That's our friend Jake, the producer, also his name. He lives in Miami, and he flies Frontier to New Jersey all the time now because he's like, well, it was a $20 flight. I think he got the Frontier credit card because you also get points, you get all kinds of things with it. And he's like, I mean, his family's in New Jersey. It makes his life so much easier. Yeah. So I said, how has it been flying Frontier, and would you fly it cross country? And he said, as long as you like bring your own snacks and download and try to get a seat in the front, you're fine. Because there's no Wi-Fi, so that's why you have to download your own stuff.
That was another thing on Spirit. There was no free snacks. I think you could probably ask for water. I think legally they have to give it to you. And no Wi-Fi. There's you have to buy your Wi-Fi before you even get on the plane.
Oh, I don't think Frontier. Oh, maybe you have to buy it.
And some of the planes don't have Wi-Fi at all.
Which, how much can it be to put a little Wi-Fi mesh extender on those planes?
I think GoGo usually, GoGo is the company that does that. I think they probably pay for the install.
How does it work?
Install. I don't know why I said it like that.
So
anyway.
Jake said he would most likely not fly it cross country. He does not. He does not suggest.
Yeah, I think all those airlines are fine, right? When you look at some of the differences in price, like I saved almost $500 by flying Spirit and taking the train. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know what the limit would be for flying cross country.
I looked
because they're not like Spirit. I can't remember if Frontier had reclining seats, but the seats on Spirit don't recline. The padding is like this thin.
So we'll get a little cushion.
And the space between my knee and the seat in front of me, I could maybe fit a credit card. Like that's how tight the seats are.
That doesn't matter to me.
Like I couldn't get my bag under me because once I got in there, I was like locked in.
Oh,
to get out, to go to the bathroom, I had to like wiggle my butt onto the person next to me's seat and then like shimmy out because there just isn't enough room. So I don't know if I could do that cross country.
I would try it, but every Spirit Airlines flight I looked up has a 2-day layover.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding.
Could be nice depending on the city.
I know. I was like, well, is there a layover in Nashville? I can go see Ricky for a day or two, and then because then I don't have to pay for a hotel.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't need to go out. Just hang out at Ricky's apartment. Just stopping by on a weekday.
Yeah, if you're staying on the coast or staying within like 3 hours, I think all of those flights are fine, right? Especially because normally those are going to be shorter trips. If you only have a backpack, it makes sense. Because even if I wanted an overhead bag, like a roller bag to put on the Spirit flight, that was going to be an extra $60.
Well, that's also what it's like flying United now.
No, this is for just an overhead.
Yes. Hello.
You get a carry-on United, depending on the
No.
economy seat, I guess.
Peasant Plus,
Yeah.
whatever it is just your personal item that goes under your seat. You have to pay extra to be able to pick a seat and put a thing above your head.
The best was Spirit gave me the option to pick my seat as I was checking in, but every seat was $20 or more. I said, no, I'm not. You're just going to put me somewhere. It's a 2-hour flight.
Yeah.
I'm going to be fine. And thankfully, I got a window seat on the way down and an aisle seat on the way back. So I was very lucky. I also checked in like right away.
Yeah.
Let's see. I flew Spirit from San Diego to Chicago. It wasn't bad, but I'm 5'1", and I did pay to upgrade my seat. Yeah, I'm 5'11", and I did not pay to upgrade my seat.
Yeah,
my whole thing,
5'1" on Spirit with an upgrade, you're first class.
Yeah, because they have what's it called, the big seat.
I don't know. I've never flown.
I think it's not called first class. It's called the big seat, or something like that.
I think Spirit Airlines needs to work with us, and we're going to reform that airline and the people that fly it.
I don't know. I don't know if they're trying to. I think that's the whole point. The whole point is they
chaos.
No, it's just they need, in order to be as cheap as they are, as inexpensive as they are, they need to make sure those seats are as thin as they are so they can fit more of them on a plane.
I'm
right?
not asking to rebuild the plane.
So what do you want to do?
I would like to be a Spirit camp counselor.
Oh, okay.
And I will talk to the people boarding the plane. Like I am Six Flags.
Yeah.
Like I'm the flight attendant, but not a flight attendant.
Like keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times?
Yeah.
That type of thing?
A Spirit camp counselor marshal.
But that's basically what flight attendants are. The problem is also that no one listens to flight attendants anymore. And I'm not talking about in terms of like listening to their instructions or disobedience. No, not even that. I'm talking about everyone's got headphones in.
Oh.
So no one's actually listening to anything. Mm-hmm. And that's why I think people kept getting up even after all those announcements to sit down is if, let's say you got up and the flight attendant came on the PA and said, everyone has to sit until we turn off the seatbelt sign, right? There's a good chance that I could have had my headphones on. I didn't hear the announcement for you. Then I get up.
That was like when our flight got diverted flying to, what is that city? Austin?
Yeah, we landed in Houston.
And I heard it and I was like, what? And we weren't in the same row and I got up and I realized you had your headphones on and you were sleeping. And I was like, Anthony, we're going to a different city.
Yeah.
And I watched the woman get off the plane, walk, start walking. And then she goes, where am I? And it's like she knew it wasn't her home airport. And she turned around. I was like, we're in Houston. She's like, oh my God. She would have left.
Yeah.
Not knowing that we had to get back on this plane. And then what? Then you can't get back through security.
I'm sure if you talk to security, there's ways around that because you still have your boarding pass, right? And you could say, hey.
And it says Seattle to Austin. What the hell are you doing in Houston?
They would figure it out.
All right. Nara says Spirit is ranked number 3 airlines.
For what? According to who? Spirit?
JD Power and Associates.
Like number 3 for
In a study by Spirit Airlines?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is world's best. So where's America? I don't want the world.
I could just look up
I was on Forbes.
best airlines in America. Okay.
Alaska's number 1.
Yeah, Alaska is great. I mean, sometimes their flights can get a little expensive, which sucks, but
Which is new. Like the last year and a half, it always used to be cheaper to fly Alaska.
wow, yeah. Overall rankings, the best airlines in the U.S. Alaska, SkyWest, which I've never heard of before, and Spirit.
Then Delta
Who
United.
I don't understand, unless I need to know what the metrics are.
Yeah, because why is Southwest so low?
Well, here's the thing. Maybe one of the metrics is price, right? Which would then drive Spirit Airlines towards the top because they are going to be the cheapest. So they're probably the number 1 in that spot.
And Southwest doesn't have that many people flying it, so who's taking this survey?
Most reliable, Spirit drops down to 6. Most comfortable, Spirit drops down to 8.
Oh, JetBlue is
Safest, Spirit is number 1.
Alaska?
But I need to know what that metric is as well because
I'm
there
sure
hasn't been
saying it. I'm sure it says it in here.
I'm not going to read the whole article because there hasn't been an airline crash in like a long time in America.
Well, Alaska's number 2.
And then most affordable, obviously, is Spirit. So the fact that they are the safest and the cheapest.
I just wish that a Spirit Airlines didn't look like a plastic bag. Like
What?
the plane itself.
I actually kind of like the
It
plane.
looks like an old what store had yellow bags?
Sprint.
ShopRite?
It looks like Sprint. The old
Like why didn't they make it like pink or like Tiffany blue?
I actually like their planes. And then when you take pictures from the window seat, if you're by the wing, the little tip of the wing says howdy. I have a picture of Rainier and it just says howdy right above Rainier.
That's cool. Would have preferred a little more cushion in my seat. But
Oh man, my butt was so sore. I got up 3 times on that plane.
But I can't trust you because your butt is always sore. You
Yeah,
can't
that's true.
sit anymore. You're literally like a 90-year-old man.
Listen,
He's like, oh, my butt hurts. I have to get up.
I got to move around. Those seats they're cramped. They are very, very cramped. Breeze is a whole light blue plane, apparently, according to Jill.
Give me this. I might go somewhere just to fly Breeze. Just check it out.
I will say, as much as I like Alaska Airlines, their planes are kind of ugly. The logo is cool, but like the rest of the plane, it's just that dark blue. I don't like it.
It's a Native American.
No, I said the
Man.
logo itself is
But
cool.
my mom didn't know that, and she was like, "Alaska, my Alaska credit card's the one with the scary face on it." I was like, "Do you think they just have like spooky people on their planes, Mom?"
That's
Although
pretty great.
Alaska has really cool wrapped planes because they have the Toy Story plane that goes to Disneyland, California. There's a Star Wars one.
And some of their smaller regional jets are wrapped with certain colleges.
And when we
Usually
first
from the Mountain West Conference. I believe.
remember when we flew out here, very first time I flew Alaska was for our interview, and our way home we had Russell Wilson on our plane. I was like, "Who's that guy?"
On the plane itself? I think it just said number 3, right? It didn't have his face on it.
Whatever. I remember being like, "What is this? Who is this? What team?"
All right, we got a couple things we're going to get into when we get back. We have rippin packs. We've got some packs from the Roosevelts and a
Rippin'
Pokemon one.
shits.
And then Carla Marie wrote Girl Power on the list. We'll get into that too. All right, let's get back into it here, Carla Marie. We have some packs to rip. So, in case you're not a huge nerd, which a lot of us are, if you have baseball cards, sports cards in general, Pokemon cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, whatever, opening the packs is just called ripping packs. And a lot of times you'll do it because obviously you don't know what's in there. Whoa, what are you doing?
I'm reading.
But what's happening is you're getting more of these types of things where like the Roosevelts are doing pins, okay? And you don't know what pin you're getting in any pack. And this is something that has been big in Asia for a long time.
But this is also like baseball card. Anything.
Of course, but getting non-card things, like there have been Pokemon things like this forever.
Can you do it like mints?
If you've ever gone to like not like a Spencer's, but like any of the Asian inspired stores across America, they'll always have little boxes, right, of like collectible figurines, but you don't know which figure you're getting.
Okay.
And it's kind of the same idea. So you're trying to create packs or get like rare ones or whatever. So the Roosevelts, one of our friend Steve's last things that he wanted to work on before he passed was these pins. And having some that are super limited. Some of these are going to be a one of one.
If I get
like
a
it is
one
the
of one.
only pin in the world. I think down the road, they're also going to be putting in gold ones at some point.
Oh, boy.
I was able to get a 1 of 100 when I was down there at the Roosevelt's booth at Comic-Con, but I bought 5 of them. So we have 3 in front of us here.
When Steve was here for Emerald City Comic-Con, just in March, he gave us actual pens. They were I didn't comprehend this is what was going to happen. I have a pug pin that he gave me, and he was like, "Yo, pins, bro, pins. It's going to be awesome." And what's really cool is that to make this happen and to finish this project, they had Steve's wife, Becca, our friend Becca, finish this project with the Roosevelts and to make sure it was everything that Steve wanted it to be. Yeah. So it's cool to see it.
And the only at the moment, the only way you can get any of these pins from the Roosevelts is at one of their live events. So mostly at Comic-Cons or pop-ups or whatever. And some of them are characters they've had on their shirts. Some of them are the shirts themselves.
Yeah, it's cool.
And like I said, I think
this photo is Teddy Roosevelt. Oh, you can't.
I think the most common is a 1 of 1,000. And obviously the least common is 1 of 1. I have a 1 of 100 already, but it's Roosevelt's from Boston, so I don't really want it. And then, but then you also, if you are part of their online community or if you go to one of their live events, you could also then trade pins, right? Like that's the other idea too, is it's a community building thing. So you want to rip these?
Yes.
Want to rip some packs? And then I do have a Pokemon one later. You ready?
How do you rip it?
You just rip it.
I gotta find my Disney cards.
All right.
Wait, you rip?
Well, I'm gonna rip it this way. Oh, there we go. Let's see. I won't flip it over yet until you get yours.
I'm trying to rip it delicately.
It's a metal pin. You're gonna be all right.
No, I want to save my paper.
I want to peek so bad.
How'd you? Oh, no, but then you rip it. You rip it.
What?
You rip the name.
Yeah, I don't need the foil. Oh my God, Carla Marie.
Oh, I'm not looking. Wait. Ah! I saw yours.
I actually didn't even see mine.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
You have to go on the bottom of the card is where it has your number.
Okay.
All right, here. 1, 2, 3. Oh man, 1 of 1,000. Although I do like this one.
1 of 100, and it's a Roosevelt shirt.
Let me see.
You don't have that print.
I don't have that color of that print, but here, let's go. There we go. So, let's see if I can angle it where it's not. Here, you want to take this one with you?
Stupid light.
Oh no, the light that we need to be seeing. It's angling them away. You have to. I don't know what you're doing because you're not even looking. All right, there are 2 Roosevelt shirts. Mine is more of like a tropical colorway.
Ooh, because mine's 1 of 100. I have shiny stuff on the top.
Yeah. The actual thing that the pin is on changes as well. So it's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of them doing this.
They're nice quality pins.
Yeah, we will take a picture and post on the gram. We have 3 more, but Carla Marie wants to do a video for socials or something, right?
Yeah, I want to do like an Instagram video, because it's like hard when we're this way and the video is shaped this way.
All right. Now, the other thing I got, very similar for a pack, but these are evolutions. So if you're not familiar with Pokemon, Eevee is a Pokemon, and then it can
Is
evolve.
it a fox? What is it?
It's kind of a fox, I guess. It's like a fox-cat hybrid type thing. But then it can evolve into 8 other forms. Whereas most Pokemon only evolve kind of linear, right? So you go from, let's say, Charmander to Charmeleon to Charizard, right? Eevee, you can go from Eevee to Glaceon to Flareon to all these different.
So Charmander and Charizard are the same guy, just evolved?
Yeah.
No idea.
Just like Ivysaur.
Stop. Just open the thing.
Okay. So let's see which Eevee I get. Which one do you want me to get, Carla Marie? Which Eevee would you want?
I like the great. Oh, the cute little pink one.
The pink
Bottom
one.
right.
Okay, oh man, what's that one's name? That's the fairy Pokemon. The fairy evolution. Okay.
You're not
Sylveon.
opening it. I guess
Sylveon would be that one. All right, here we go. My evolution is
It's a mean one.
a mean one. Oh, I got Umbreon. That's awesome.
Are you speaking English?
Umbreon's cool.
Is it Umbreon the name of a coffee?
Maybe.
Oh, that's Umbria. What is that?
I have no idea.
That's a soccer brand.
Umbro?
No, maybe.
I think, is it Umbro? Umbro is the soccer company. But yeah, Umbreon's pretty cool. I'm a fan. And these are like
looks
baby.
like John Man.
They're like baby looking versions of Eevees.
Oh, Umbria's a cafe in Ballard. I knew I see it somewhere.
There we go.
Mandarin Rose said I
This
feel
is
like I need a
awesome.
translator. Wait, it's John Man.
So they were telling us, my brother and I went to this booth that was selling these pins, and these are definitely not official Pokemon pins, by the way.
Oh, so you just bought fake stuff?
Yeah. There are a lot of people. I don't know how they get away with it because the brands are oftentimes there. Like there was a huge Pokemon Horizons
Yeah, but those people
build out.
that are there are like,
But you would assume that there's someone from the company that's going around like, hey, Comic-Con, these people are selling unlicensed merchandise of ours.
but the people at that booth, I'm willing to bet for a big brand like Pokemon, like
Yeah.
Roosevelt, they would know. That's not ours. But when you have a brand like Pokemon, you have no idea who has licenses.
Not at San Diego Comic-Con. Your biggest executives are at that event. Like all the biggest executives are at San Diego Comic-Con. But what was I going to say? Oh, they were telling us that someone went in right before us, bought 9 different packs, and managed to pull all 9 evolutions.
That's what I would.
Or all 9 variations.
That's what I would say to someone to get them to buy my pack.
I wasn't doing that. I literally told her, I said, I'm buying one.
How
And
much
one
was
only.
one?
This is the only thing, by the way. I'm sorry. These pins are the only things that I bought at Comic-Con. I was very proud of myself.
How much was that Eevee guy?
$11, $12, something like that.
So someone bought 9 of those?
Yeah. I just don't, I see people walking around with all the different things that they get, and there's so many cool things to buy at a comic or any type of these any of these conventions. I don't know where they put all the stuff.
They might also be gifting it and reselling it.
Maybe. But there's just so much stuff. So much stuff.
Yeah, I don't need any of that.
Carla Marie.
What?
Now that we've ripped our packs, where's yours? We've successfully ripped 3 packs today. What is this girl power thing that's on the screen?
So I got invited to this event yesterday called MIW. It's Mentoring Influential Women. Now, I got an email forward invite from our friend Marie at the Radio Fam.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a text DM from Corey Dillon, who's she's on the radio. I've met her at Morning Show Boot Camp. She's originally from here.
Oh, okay.
So we've always stayed in touch. But she invited me to the event and...
Was she there?
No, because she wasn't in town. Sent me all the information. She's like, hey, I know they're doing this Seattle event, blah, blah, whatever. I was just like, yep, I know my friend Marie is going. Also, like, I'm just going to go. I have no idea what it is. I didn't even know what the MIW honestly stood for when I was going. I said to Anthony, I don't know, I have this happy hour today. I'm just going to go. And it was one of those days. It was like rainy yesterday. And I was like, I don't want to leave the house. I can't believe I agreed to do something today. Like, that's how I felt. Because I just didn't know what it was. I get there. And there's just it's all like women in radio and audio. I then find out that's the event I'm at. And it's all local women, whether they worked for local radio promo stations or whatever it is. And very quickly I was like, oh, this is a fun event. I got drink raffle tickets, so I didn't have to buy drinks.
Okay.
I got food.
Did you have to pay to go?
No.
Oh.
And I got a raffle ticket to enter in for a Michael Kors purse, a Rebecca Minkoff purse, and some wine.
Were you guys ripping packs?
We were not ripping packs.
Lame.
So I was like, all right, this is like legit. Like, I don't know what I'm getting into. And I immediately, who's like running the event is Leslie, who we've met before. She is Hannah's neighbor, our friend Hannah.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I know you. Whatever.
That's right, because she used to work for one of the big radio companies.
Odyssey.
Yeah.
Here. She used to, yes. Anyway, then in walks Shelly Hart. Now, if you grew up here, you know who Shelly Hart is. She is a freaking legend.
Yeah. Hasn't she been on the radio here for like 30 years or something?
She's amazing. She is the in-game host for the Seattle Storm and has been the in-game host for the Seattle Storm since the Storm became a basketball team.
Wow.
She is the Seattle, like, she's not just the in-game host, she's part of the team. So I'm, like, talking to her, and I'm like...
She's like their John Sterling.
I'm, like, trying not to panic, because she's like, oh, tell me what you do, and I'm like, I do what you do. Or I said I...
You used to.
I said I'm...
Oh, well, no, you still do, I guess.
I said I'm the in-game host for the Seahawks. She's like, oh, I'm the in-game host for the Storm. I was like, I know. So,
and what radio station is she on now in Seattle?
Warm.
Okay.
Warm 106.9. So, like, I'm talking, she's an absolute radio legend. So we just start talking about radio and how it's transforming. And she's like, we start talking about how it's, like, run by old white men. And it was just, she goes, it always has been and it still is. And we're talking about that. Then I meet this woman named Edie, who was in radio since 1972.
Oh, wow.
And she had just never on air, just basically just ran shit.
Okay.
And she's like, I said, man, you got to write a book. She goes, yeah, I'm not going to let that publish until I die because I will say names and you have no idea what I went through in the 70s in radio. And I was like, I don't want to know.
Yeah.
But yes. Then I won a raffle ticket, I won a bottle of wine.
Oh, sweet.
So that was cool. But I kept saying this, I kept telling everyone, this is the best. I don't know the last time I got to be around women who were in the same industry, in the same area, just in such a positive way. And
yeah, because at like Morning Show Boot Camp, they're from everywhere.
It's everywhere. Yeah. And the goal of that organization now is to just get women that have been in the industry forever and bring in younger women, and you quite literally mentor them. So getting to be around a radio legend like Shelly and this woman Edie, like they're basically like someone like Edie helped start this organization years ago. So she was on the cover of Radio Inc., first woman I think to be on the cover of Radio Inc. And it was just... Which
is like an industry magazine that's pretty big,
so
or was pretty big at least.
It's very hard to fully explain what that event meant, and I don't know what it is in your industry.
Yeah.
But find out. It doesn't have to be women only. It doesn't have to be a straight up girl power event. But find what that is, because getting to be around people that live through the same trauma and the same triumphs as you is so freaking cool.
And if your industry doesn't have one, make one.
Yeah.
That's like what our friend Marie did with the Radio Fam. Is she said, there isn't a younger, newer collective of radio personalities that's not there necessarily just to push out like PR newsletters for like, because that's what a lot of these radio insider pages are. Really, they're not. They don't have big budgets. It's not a resource for people. It's really just a place where iHeart can send their press release and say, oh, the Carla Marie Anthony show launches in Seattle.
They got fired.
And then all the industry people see that, and then that's it. Whereas Marie started something called the Radio Fam that was just sharing things that radio people did on a daily basis and connecting people and saying, hey, you guys might be starting a show in Seattle. Why don't you reach out to these other people? I'll connect you with them. They did that with Moog and Angie.
Yeah, when they moved
We were actually here before them. So Marie from the Radio Fam connected us with Moog and Angie, who were moving from Boise to Seattle, just to say, hey, here's some other radio people if you have questions. So you could be that person if your industry doesn't have one.
Yeah, so I don't know, again, if you work in aviation, I don't know if you have that, but like Anthony said, you can create it. So the event I was at last night was the first time they've ever done that, was the first time they ever did it like in a specific city. We're going to try like basically a Seattle meetup. Normally they go to the radio conventions and stuff and do one-off events there. Yeah. One of them is called Lipstick and Lobster, Lobster and Lipstick. I think apparently it's amazing.
I like lobster.
I know. You like lipstick too.
I really don't. To be honest with you. I've never seen a girl with like really bright lips and been like, that's the thing I like.
But you've worn lipstick is what I'm saying. When we dressed you up in drag.
I don't know if I wore lipstick that day.
Definitely did. You definitely had your lips lined.
Listen, at some point, I'm sure for some costume I've put on lipstick. I'm just saying I've never understood the idea of lipstick. But here's the thing. If you like it, wear it.
Yeah.
But I feel like, to me, lipstick and fake eyelashes are kind of the same. I've never in my life gone, oh, man, look at that girl's eyelashes. I want to bang her. It just doesn't make sense.
What about eyeliner? Do you look at eyeliner and say that?
No.
You mean to tell me that men don't look at women's makeup and it's like, wow, I love her makeup?
No, if you can't tell that it's makeup and they've done a good job, I'm sure there's women who have made their whole faces look completely different and they're somehow more attractive to certain men. But I've never heard a guy in my entire life mention lipstick or fake eyelashes. Right? No guy is ever like, oh yeah, I met this girl. She was like 5'4", she had blonde hair and these beautiful fake eyelashes.
Yeah, but women aren't doing their eyelashes for men.
I'm not saying they are.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm just saying I've never understood the allure of it. If you do it for yourself, by all means, go do it for yourself. But then don't be mad when you take off those fake eyelashes. You look like a different person. And I'm like, never mind.
So you did like the fake eyelashes?
No, I just don't. I don't like the new other person that you just transformed into.
Okay. So, good to know. I'll pass that information on at the next women's event.
If you could just let me talk to all these women about how they should do their makeup at the next women's event, honestly, I think they'd go further in life, you know?
Yeah.
I think I could mentor some women.
But there was, this event, it truly felt like, it wasn't like you were smoozing. You know, when you go to these events, like, oh, I got to talk to this person, this.
Yeah.
It was very much like, this is what I do. Oh, you know what? I can connect you with this person, blah, blah, blah. And it was just I don't know the last time I was at an event that felt supportive, if that makes sense. It was really cool.
It sounds like there wasn't an agenda.
There wasn't. And I said to Shelly Hart how I follow a bunch of other in-game hosts, because she was saying how when she started with the Storm, that wasn't a job that people did other places.
Especially for women.
And now, and that was another thing. And she's like, and now I'm seeing the in-game host become a job for other teams in other cities, other sports. And I was like, yeah, I actually follow a bunch of people. I've been wanting to start an in-game host group, even if it's just like an Instagram DM, because I want to talk to these other people. And she goes, I will start it with you. And I was like, oh.
You should. I mean, you already know 2 other ones here in Seattle. I have a friend whose friend, I don't know this person.
Way more than 2 other ones in Seattle.
No, women?
Oh, no, it'll be everybody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you have Strawberry.
Yeah.
Who
I have
does
all the
Kraken
people I work
games.
with at Seahawks.
Now, is it only on mic and on camera people that you're connecting?
In-game hosts.
Yeah.
Well, we can take some PA announcers.
But then I know a person, I don't know her personally, but I know we have mutual friends. The woman, I think her name is Sid.
Sib Vicious.
She does the Raiders games.
Yeah. She's on camera.
That could be another person for your little group.
Yes, thank you.
I'm trying to think.
Excuse me. See, this is why you have been fired.
What did I do?
Because you just called it a little group.
Yeah.
No.
It's not a big group.
No. What have we learned?
That you're annoying?
No,
I don't know.
You don't put little in front of things.
Oh, I do that every day.
I know, but we as a group, everyone in this channel, have also taught you to stop doing that.
If I'm gonna sit here and say I don't like fake eyelashes, but go and do what you want to do, then I'm allowed to use the word little in front of things. You might not want to use it, but I can.
No.
Why not?
Because it is going to be a very powerful group, and there are a lot of us.
You can be powerful and little.
No, get out of here.
Anyway, you and your little group
Stop it.
are going to
You
have
don't do that.
a great time. How many people are in your group right now?
Nobody.
Super little.
It's
I'm going to actually say you're a tiny group for now. And
You're a little business. I hate that. Hate
business.
that.
It's not a big business.
It's such a way that I don't think people realize it, that you are undermining. There is not a single person in this that will agree with you. Right?
It doesn't matter. They don't have to agree with me.
Semantics are important.
They don't have to agree with me.
I think I need to teach you how to speak.
That's fine. Once you learn yourself, come back and tell me.
Super little sounds better than little, Angela said.
Yeah, you got a super little group. Your powerful little group there. Okay. So, who else is in this little group of yours?
Big D.
Oh, yeah.
Wayne D.
He used to do Vegas. Now he does Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
He does the Preds games. And I think he might also do their minor league baseball team. Our friend E. White in Utah actually does their minor league baseball team, I believe.
What's his name? From radio in LA and Dodgers.
Dave Stiles.
If
you ever go to a Dodgers game, he is one of the 2 hosts there.
Yeah.
Who else do we know?
Well, I all the Seattle ones, obviously. Then I follow
You need someone on the East Coast.
The woman who does the Nationals.
Oh, cool.
Hockey team. She's great. I follow. There's a few that do. There's one that does. Actually, I think she does Rutgers football games. I'm blanking on their names because everyone's name is an Instagram handle and I can't remember it.
Good question here. Is it all pro teams?
No, everybody.
Okay. What about like high school?
I don't care. But if your high school has that, that's amazing.
That would be actually pretty cool.
I'll go do my high school football game.
You know, I don't know if I've talked about this. There were two guys who were in my grade who launched RHS TV, so Ridgewood High School TV. We had no broadcast element to our high school before. They started it. Cool. They somehow petitioned to the school to get a little bit of a budget, a tiny little budget, and they would broadcast and record our football games, and they would do the play-by-play and the color commentary.
What do they do now?
I think one of them went to Syracuse, the other went to another broadcast-heavy school. One of them is a conservative, like, news talk show type of guy. His name is Guy Benson.
Oh.
Every now and then he's on Fox News. I think he works for another publication, and they bring him in as, like, one of the talking heads. The other one is named Dan Duva, and he is the radio play-by-play host for the Vegas Knights.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so both of them took that job, took that thing that they...
Why didn't you work there?
Built in high school. I was playing sports at the time. I probably should have done that had I known, but I didn't know I was going to end up doing this kind of stuff.
That is awesome.
But yeah, they started this thing in high school. They were super passionate about it.
That's like Maria Menounos.
She did Channel 12.
Channel 12?
In New Jersey, right? I think it's 12.
Well, it was everywhere.
11 was WPIX. So
No. It wasn't a real thing. It wasn't like a real... Our TVs in like middle school and high school would get wheeled in.
Yeah.
And it would be the same time every day. And it was like a 12-minute newscast that we all watched. Someone's going to remember exactly what it was called. And...
She is now the AMC lady.
Who? Maria Menounos?
Yeah. If you go to an AMC theater, she does like an announcement before all the...
But that used to be, what's her name?
I don't know.
Oh, yes. And she is at the gas station pump. You are correct.
Is it BP?
I don't know.
I think it's BP that has those annoying-ass TV screens.
Channel 1. Thank you, Jen.
Oh, so not Channel 12.
No.
Oh, okay.
You're thinking News 12.
Yeah. Oh, I was thinking News 12.
This was like a national broadcast.
Okay.
And she was the anchor who was like, she was only a few years older than me. And I was like, I want to be on Channel 1. How do I get this gig?
It is cool. Listen, you can end up in any career at any point in your life. But it is so cool seeing the people who were passionate about something at a young age and made it to like the highest level of that. Obviously, you see it in sports a lot, right? That's probably the easiest one to point out. But when you get, people who are fans of a brand, for example, let's say you were a big Pokemon fan and you said, one day I'm going to work for the Pokemon company or be an artist. Like, it happens a lot in comic books. You'll have kids who love to draw, and they'll say, I just want to draw for Marvel or DC. One of my cousin's best friends was able to do that.
That's cool.
He did some of the pencil work for, I believe, the Spawn comic book series. He wasn't a full-time employee of DC or anything, or Marvel, whoever. I think Spawn is DC. But he was able to get work at some point in his life doing that.
So, also me. As a kid, I was like, I want to work on the radio. I would literally say to my mom, I want to do what they do. Like talking about Elvis and Danielle. I want to be on Z100. Yeah. Like those were things that I said. I want to be an MTV VJ. I want to be on Z100. Yeah. And then when I got to high school, we didn't have a radio station. We didn't have whatever TV, and there was no way I was going to make that. So I decided I was going to take over and do the morning announcements every day. And that's truly where I got my start.
Yeah, only thing I was really passionate about growing up was sports and professional wrestling, and I really thought I was going to be a professional wrestler. Really, like, I didn't know how to do it. I thought it was cool.
Damn.
And clearly, I'm not.
Could've.
I still could.
You would definitely be like Speedo guy.
No, I always modeled myself after X-Pac because he was always smaller. He had long hair. He was like kind of a little wily little guy, Because I knew I was never going to be huge. I was never going to be The Rock or any of those guys, right? My dad was 5'8", and that's generous. My dad might be 5'6". So I knew I wasn't going to be a giant.
Yeah.
But what's his name? Steve Miggs, who does radio here in Seattle, he started doing professional wrestling. He works for like some of the local professional wrestling outlets here now. I could do that.
Yeah.
He was able to actually, when
You
AEW,
should. No, I don't want to watch you get beat up.
when AEW comes to town, oftentimes they will find local wrestlers to like do their opening matches. And he was able to fight on one of the AEW televised events as one of the first
I didn't
guys.
know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
so, but even if you're not someone that was like, oh, I'm a kid and I want to be this, and you're not doing it now, like, what are you passionate about now? And do it.
Nothing.
Like, I keep thinking, I've talked about this a lot. I want to go back to school to study something in the world of environment, whether it is, I think, more sustainability, so then I could have a job helping companies be better at sustainability. Like the
That'd be cool. Like
sustainability
a
officer.
yeah, a sustainability officer would be cool.
And I come in and I'm like, no plastic.
Well, speaking of things you are passionate about and
Yep.
things you are going to do, you have to head over to the Seahawks training facility now.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? Renton or
Renton.
It is Renton, right? Yeah, you're saying Renton. It's Renton.
No, it's Renton.
It's Renton.
But we are very much Manhattan, Renton, Button.
I'm pretty sure it's Renton.
Renton.
Ugh, I hate that. That's too many syllables.
It's the same amount.
No, Renton is 2. Renton is 1.
No.
All right, it is time to get out of here. Carla is going to go do her little job
Stop
Don't forget
Go do your stupid little gym workout.
Don't forget there is a new episode of the Morning Show podcast available wherever you get your shows. We will be back right here on Thursday. Peace.